I want to tell you about one of the most incredible, most impossible business stories you will ever hear. It's a journey from absolute rock bottom poverty to a $1 billion snack empire that's now going toe to toe with giants like PepsiCo. This is the story of Balaji Wafers.
Okay, let's just dive right in. To really get a sense of how massive this story is, you have to see where it all started. So picture this. It's the 1970s. We're talking about a poor farming family in a village with no electricity. They didn't even own a bicycle. Now, fast forward to today, and they are billionaires in the world of fast-moving consumer goods, or FMCG, running one of India's biggest snack companies. I mean, that transformation is just staggering.
And when I say big, I really mean it. The annual revenue for Balaji Wafers, it's hit 60 billion rupees. That's over 700 million US dollars. It's a number that's kind of hard to even wrap your head around, especially when you remember where they started. So that brings us to the real question here, right? How on earth did they do it? How does one family, with basically nothing but a few thousand rupees in a dream, build an empire like this? Well, let's break it all down. The story, and like a lot of great stories, it doesn't begin with some huge success. Nope, it begins with failure and a really desperate need for a fresh start. So the thing that kicked it all off was a devastating drought. Their crops failed not just once, but twice. They had nothing left. So their father sold the family's only piece of land. He took that money, 20,000 rupees, which was their entire life savings, and handed it to his three sons, Bigubai, Chandubai, and Mejibai. He sent them off to the city of Rajkot to build a new life. You can just imagine the pressure. But the city was tough, and they were, inexperienced. It was costly. Their first idea, selling farm equipment, completely fell apart when a trader tricked them with fake goods. They lost a huge chunk of their money. Their second plan, a dairy outlet, well, that never even got off the ground. They ran out of money. And just like that, within 2 years, the family's entire savings was gone. Defeated, but not broken, the middle brother, Chandubai, he takes a pretty menial job at a cinema canteen. And this is where he learns his first really important life lesson. Work is a sacred duty. He didn't just serve food. No way. This guy was sticking up posters, checking tickets, and at night he was even repairing torn cinema seats. He traded every single task, no matter how small, with absolute diligence. And people started to notice. His hard work really paid off. It earned him the trust of the canteen owner, who eventually just gave him the contract to run the entire operation. And this, right here, is where a really persistent, annoying problem turned into their single greatest opportunity. So the opportunity came from a super simple but super frustrating problem. See, one of the canteen's most popular snacks was potato wafers, but their supplier was just awful. Deliveries were always late, the quality was inconsistent, and even after changing suppliers 3 times, the problem just wouldn't go away. It was a constant headache. But for Chandubai, this wasn't just a headache. It was a challenge. And it was guided by his second mantra, look for solutions instead of being worried. He really believed that whenever nature closes one door, it always opens another one. He saw this whole supplier mess not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity in disguise. And that led to this simple, but honestly revolutionary decision. Instead of complaining about the bad suppliers, he would become the supplier. He'd just make the potato wafers himself. And in that one moment, the idea for Balaji Wafers was born. Okay, so next, let's get into how this simple idea just exploded, transforming from a tiny backyard operation into a full-blown empire. The growth was just insane. In 1982, they set up a little shed in their backyard, investing about 10,000 rupees. Chandubai just experimented over and over to get the recipe perfect. By 1984, they had a brand name, Balaji, and they were selling directly to shops from their bicycles. And get this, just 7 years after starting in a shed, they took out a loan and opened the largest potato wafer plant in the entire state of Gujarat. And this whole period just perfectly captures their core philosophy. When retailers were being unreliable, the brothers just delivered the wafers themselves on their bikes. When the machinery in their brand new factory broke down, instead of paying expensive engineers, Chandubai, a guy who'd only studied up to 10th grade, taught himself how to fix these super complex machines. Every single problem was met with a direct, hands-on solution. So this hands-on problem-solving vibe, it grew into this really unique business philosophy. You could call it the Balaji way. And honestly, it's their secret sauce.
At the very heart of it is this mantra, service, not sales. Chandabai explains that sales is when you have to push a product onto someone. He says they never, ever do that. Their job is to simply serve the massive demand that's created by a product people already love. It's a pull strategy, not a push. And this service mindset, it extends to literally everyone in their world. The farmers who grow their potatoes, they're paid on time for the best quality stuff. Their distributors, they're treated like partners who get rich right alongside the company. And their 7,000 employees are treated like family. Nobody gets a sales target. The focus is just on motivation. And the result is a win for everyone, especially the customer who gets a great product at a really fair price. And believe me, this model works. I mean, look at this. Today, Balaji Wafers is the #3 player in the entire Indian snacks market, right behind giants like PepsiCo and Haldiram's. And on their home turf in Western India, they are the undisputed champions. And through all this incredible success, they've stayed a family business. Chendubai uses this amazing metaphor to explain how they've avoided the kind of family drama that destroys so many other companies. He says that even if one brother is the hero, the number one, you need the other brothers, the zeros, to stand right behind him to turn that one into 1,000. It's all about teamwork. It's all about mutual respect. So when you boil it all down, the story of Balaji Wafers teaches us that work really is a sacred duty, that devotion pays off, and that taking care of your people is maybe the best business strategy there is. Which leaves us with one final thought, one question for you. What annoying, persistent problem in your life, like a bad wafer supplier, is actually an opportunity just waiting for you to solve it?